Alright guys, time for another book review. This one is called Damned by Chuck. I hate trying to always say this guy's last name. I can never get it right. Palahniuk? You know what's a shame is that he's actually one of my favorite writers, and I still cannot say this last name. I've Googled this last name and had it sent back to me through Google, and I'll remember it for like 1 or 2 days, and then when it comes to it, I'll forget it like the next day. If he's by any chance watching this, I'm not doing this to be a jerk. I actually love your books. I just can't pronounce it for some reason. There's certain words that I just can't pronounce, and your last name, I'm sorry. I love Fight Club. Fight Club is one of my favorite books. The Invention of Sound is my second favorite of yours. Survivor, that was great. I love this book too. Damned was great. Madison is freaking funny as hell to me. The whole underworld, I don't know what it is. This is like the second book I've read about hell. What was the other one? A Short Stay in Hell. None of them make hell sound that bad. I'm almost contemplating on which way I actually want to go at this point. Heaven sounds kind of boring. Hell sounds kind of fun. By the way, she's in hell, and she doesn't even know why she's there. She thinks she OD'd from smoking marijuana, which I found funny. But again, she's only 13 years old. She doesn't know why she's down there, and she's basically trying to figure out what's going on, how hell works. She meets a few people. She even says it's almost like the Breakfast Club. If any of you people watching me know what the Breakfast Club is, it's an 80s movie where people were held in detention and these people don't get along, but by the end of it they do. It's a great classic movie. Go check it out, please. She meets a few people that she befriends, and they're like the Breakfast Club and stuff like that. And in hell, you have to work. And she's a telemarketer from hell. And that's their job. Their job is to call you up and basically just ruin your day by telemarketing. What she does is she actually sends messages from hell to these people and basically changing their lives, saying like, hey, why are you even doing this? You're going to end up in hell because, you basically go down this way no matter what you do. So I found that to be kind of funny and interesting. She even leads a rebellion in hell at one point, which I find to be kind of funny. And then in the end, apparently on Halloween, they can cross over onto the mortal plane, let's say, and walk among the living, because it is Halloween. And she gets trapped on the mortal plane, and that's where the second book begins, which is called Doom. Now, doing some research into this was supposed to be originally, I guess, a trilogy, but I guess the first two books, Damned and Doomed, did not sell well. So Doomed is the finale. So there's only 2 books. There's no trilogy, which kind of disappoints me because I wish there was a third book, because now I'm wondering what was left out of the second book that would have been in the third book. I'm going to try to get the second book. I'm trying to see if I can find it on Libby or Everand, because I prefer to actually read it like an ebook. The only other place I found it was on Amazon, and they want $30 for it, and I'm not paying $30 for a paperback. For me, I loved this book. I really did. I thought some hysterical scenes when she started talking to people through the phone. That made me laugh. When she finally contacted her parents, she was able to contact her parents at one point, who, honestly, I'm trying to think who they reminded me of, and I don't know why the father kind of reminded me of Steve Guttenberg. I don't know why. I just got a Steve Guttenberg vibe from him. And the mother, I couldn't figure out who the mother would remind me of, because the mother is like a famous actress, and you could tell that the mother cares for her, but the mother is kind of like a little off in certain ways. She has all these cameras set up throughout the house, and while the cleaners are cleaning the house, if she doesn't think like a room is cleaned up enough, she'll lock them in that room until they clean it right. The mother's not totally right in the head. I just couldn't think of someone like that. But then again, I don't know Hollywood people, so who knows? And of course, they do a lot of like fake charity things. So they'll do charity to, like, say they'll go to Africa and be like, we're going to feed all these African children that are starving, and then they'll adopt an African kid to show how great they are. And then once that, fades away and no one cares about that anymore, they get rid of that kid. Like, not kill the kid, but just like, okay, get him out of our house type thing. At one point, she has like a stepbrother that's how they got the stepbrother. And there's a scene in there with her and the stepbrother where they really don't get along, whatnot. But she also ends up meeting him later on in Hell too, which is interesting. And you find out a lot more about how she died. Again, I found it to be hysterical. I give this one 5 stars. It is God tier to me, which is funny because it's about hell. But it's a God tier book. If I had to rank it amongst my favorite Chuck books, I'm going to say it's definitely in the top 5. Fight Club is number 1 forever. I don't know he's ever going to write a book better than Fight Club. Invention of Sound is just a masterpiece too. That one was probably the closest he got to beating Fight Club. Survivor was real good. I'd say Damned is number 4. Number 5 is kind of hard because he's had a couple good books that I've liked, but I don't know if I want to put him in my top 5 yet because there's still a couple books out there I want to read. But right now, I would say this sits at number 4. I want to see how Doomed is. Who knows? Maybe Doomed is just as good as this and it goes into number 5. But for now, that's where it is. If you've read this, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of it. If you enjoyed it, if you hated it, what was your favorite parts? Until next time, continue reading. Love you guys.